I'll start and then I'll
Yeah.
leave a gap for you to come in.
How kind.
Somewhere. Well, I was invited to the local village hall to a dance by a mutual friend of Jackie's and mine, and not knowing very many people here at that time, I danced with this mutual friend most of the night, but then she got fed up with me and dragged me across the floor. She said, I know somebody who will dance with you. Introduced me to Jackie, and she presented me and said to Jackie, well, you'll dance with him, won't you? So we danced anyway, and we had this dance, and it was quite late in the evening, and it was just about the last but one dance, and then they started playing the last waltz. Well, I knew from experience you don't dance with another man's wife to do the last waltz. And so I took her back to her husband, who was still busy chatting, and he said, carry on, mate. A couple of years later, I'd heard that Jackie, their relationship had split. And this mutual friend who had introduced me to the dance then decided she'd play Cupid.
There I was, sitting with my family, with the two girls, and Sylvia is the friend, and the girls thought this was quite hilarious, and they decided they'd put very low lighting on, they lit candles, they put soft music on, and I was furious and said, what on earth do you think you're doing? Anyway, when this man knocked on the door, I opened the door and his first words were, Sylv was right, you do look rough.
Well, having been an electrician and a builder all my life, it's only natural that I should have a shed with a bench and many engineering tools in it. But you like the garden.
Yeah, so I'm not a gardener that is always buying plants. I tend to like what is already there and make the best of it. Yeah.
Of course, here we are.
Yeah.
You've got a stick for you and a stick for me, you see, and
For the
we
putting.
can do a bit of... But there you go, it's all in here. Everything's here that any man should want. And also any woman, really, because these seats are very comfortable, and I think Jackie spends some time down here with a glass of sherry.
Ooh.
And goes to sleep.
I think that's
So
more what Len does.
it's a
really.
dual purpose sherry.
Well, this dress is the very first long dress I ever bought, and it was for when we went on a cruise, and that was to Norway. Yes, so this is the dress. So that's one of my favourites. These two are more recent ones, but they're the same style again, quite long. This one is a lovely dress, or skirt and the matching jacket.
Well, this is a good opportunity, isn't it, for us to just think back to
Yes.
18 months ago when we last danced, and to come into this lovely hall with all this space is brilliant. Just practice a few dances, and your favourite dance is what?
The jive.
Of course, it very often depends on the tune, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you like the tune and it goes with the steps, then it's great. I mean, yes, you can pick any old waltz, but it's not always easy to pick up the beat in it.
Yes, you need a definite beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. This hall, play table tennis, and it's.
This is a 1972, 1972 200cc Vespa. I've had this since 1980, It's Vespa means wasps. So and during lockdown, we've had time to think. So I've been thinking about my father and how I came to get this actual wasp, Vespa, and it's Italian for wasp. And anyway, my father had one, a 1952. And when I was about 15, it was in pieces in the garage, and I put it together and it became mine. I also have a 1995 Harley Davidson Sportster, which belonged to my son-in-law, who unfortunately died when he was 34 years of age. And my daughter was left with 5 bikes, but this particular bike was his everyday bike. And well, she didn't really want it, but she didn't want to let it go. So this is, as you can see, a 1955 Hillman Minx, which was a 1200cc engine back in those days, and it was the first car I ever drove on the road, and my very first car, and which I had for 4 years. And then I got rid of it, and I missed it so much that about 5 years later I bought another one, and this is the other one. When we were thinking, when we got engaged, it was about the same time as Joe got married, and so this car was used for Joe's wedding. We also used it for our wedding.
Yes.
And did we use it for Helen's wedding?
Think we did.
So these things have special meaning in our family.
Including what you did for Bess.
Oh yes, of course. We went to the prom.
Yes.
Took Bess to the prom in this one.
And don't film this, Bess. I should, of course, be wearing an apron. Ta-da! It's nothing like Bake Off. And we present it to Bess for her mum.